Hello people, you're watching Marshall's log, part 16. Okay, so I'm going to be winging this one because I don't have my black book, I don't have my spreadsheet of GOLDPACK facts and history, or the original sheets. It's been a while since I've made a Marshall's Law video, so this will be interesting. I hope I don't get too much of the details a little incorrect. I hope I can stay within the time frame of when it really happened. Where were we at part 15? I hate talking about this era because I was really looking forward to a full-out war with Exodus. There wasn't much else I could do to prepare myself. I mean, I had a couple of spies infiltrated in their clan. Unfortunately, I wish I had a whole bunch of them in the commandos of Exodus, but I could only ever get one conscript through. I had 4 people just in their main army, one in one of their like navy or some stupid division. But yeah, I had an MLG group that was as good as I thought it was just about going to get for the time being. And as for my specialist force to combat the commandos, the GOLDPACK wolves, they're looking pretty neat. Including myself, I could only ever get 5 fully trained wolves. The other 9 were just conscripts, still in training. A couple of them only just able to make it as conscripts, and a couple of them were, actually 2 of them were pretty close to mastery, but they're just, the bar was set too high, they weren't able to do it. But I know I had, including the conscripts and the fully trained wolves, I could easily get 6 of them online for the given moment when the war started. And that would be more than enough that I needed. I mean, at the end of the day, you can only fit 16 people in a lobby, right? Oh, I had a horrible feeling that the Exodus might have been crazy enough to use nothing but the commandos. I mean, if they use nothing but the commandos for the start of a raid, then we very well we probably would have lost, but I don't think they're going to do that. I had no idea, I never got the opportunity, unfortunately. GOLDPACK's main army was looking incredible. I mean, our clan in total had more than 300 members, it was ridiculous. I had to delete big heads in the community that were on my friends list. I only kept like about 6 or 7 of them, and the rest were all GOLDPACK members. My secondary account was totally maxed out. I mean, after I was done deleting all GOLDPACK members that had trouble staying in uniforms, idiots, I started deleting GOLDPACK members that hasn't, like in a time frame, I'll delete the one who hasn't came on the longest and replace him with someone who's active every couple of days. I mean, it was ridiculous. Mama had her friends list entirely chockers. We started doing this really annoying system where we started deleting people on our friends list and having them on our officers friends list, so if we wanted them, we'd have to go to our officers friends list, view them and invite them. When it was just getting so messy. And yeah, the GOLDPACK St. Kilios, I mean, I can't say they're highly skilled or ready for it, but they had probably over 60 members in their division. I mean, it was annoying because they had a lot more of the active members too. But I didn't really care. A soldier's a soldier, and GOLDPACK had St. Kilios because after all we were a hybrid clan. And in saying that, it made things quite interesting. I really like the idea of seeing elites everywhere. GOLDPACK elites, it was great. Oh, I just wish the leaders of that division weren't so stupid. Oh man, they had no respect for the uniform. Allowing idiots to just put on the arbiter as if it's like a dress up. I mean, seriously. It's supposed to be hard to obtain for a reason. They handed out like candy, Jesus. Anyway, so we were as prepared. I thought GOLDPACK was as prepared as we're ever going to be, and leaving it any longer to continue to prepare would have probably given the opposite effect. So I was going to initiate the war. I had like over 60 gamer tags written down of the more moderate and above ranks in Exodus, including their commandos, so I could get ready to message them, because Shaky Divine, I mean, he's got big balls and he's a big ass leader, but he has very little respect for the people he doesn't respect, as do I, but I'll always talk to them. He thought he was so big and cocky that he could just ignore people, even if they're trying to declare war on him, because, you know, he's kind of stupid like that. So, to prevent him from just saying, nah, we're not going to do war with you, I was like, oh, we'll do it next week, or just from him being an absolute idiot, and getting ready to put this kind of stuff on YouTube, taking bitches and, you know, spreading the GOLDPACK drama. When we start the war, I was going to have two of my officers to do the same thing, but to message at least 30 or 20 gamer tags that they've typed in, which is a lot of work. Normally they'd probably lie and just do 10, I would do 30. But they would all get a message saying GOLDPACK declares war, declaring that their clan is crap, sucky, junky, all that stuff. They're going to chicken out, they're not good enough to do a war with GOLDPACK, or to follow proper rules. Just totally ambush them with all these annoying ass messages, to the point where if they didn't do a war with GOLDPACK, it'd make them look so sad. I'd probably be able to poach a heap of their members. Poach a heap of their members. Oh, that would've been great. But nah. Once a lot of their like big boys got those messages, there's no way they'd back down from a fight like that. So Shaky Divine wouldn't be able to stop it even if he wanted to. It would have happened. And I was getting extremely worried about GOLDPACK's position. With all the drama, the intensity of the drama was increasing to these levels that I have felt before in the previous generations of GOLDPACK. Even some moments within third generation itself, like the moment I had with Joker Woody. I mean, it's the exact same thing. But I kept calm and in control and collective, because I knew GOLDPACK Mama, she's trustworthy, it's not gonna happen. But I was worried about the amount of idiots trying to convince her to make it happen, culminating in her division, protected by the, like, I don't know, GOLDPACK's St. Kilius division of a retarded constitution. They have right to allow betraying GOLDPACK idiots in their division. And if I was to come in and remove them, then that just caused so much drama. So I just left it be. I would just focus on my wolves. That's pretty much what I was doing. So what happened? What happened? Nothing good. I was in Halo 4, and I was training a couple of my wolves and a whole bunch of my main army members, because Exodus apparently was on Halo 4 time to time. I was going to extend the war to Halo 4, I mean, we had so many members, why the heck not? GOLDPACK had over 300 members. I jump on Halo 4, half my clan either didn't have didn't have that game, or they just didn't want to. I could still fill up 16 player lobbies just immediately if I sent a message. I didn't even have to message my members anymore, I'll just invite everyone who's online, and first people get in were lucky. So I was on Halo 4 training on the GOLDPACK Dreadnought, and something incredibly interesting happened. A bunch of the people I didn't invite, who belonged to the GOLDPACK St. Kilius division, joined. Funny enough, wearing the emblem. Already all geared up. Except they weren't elites. Halo 4 doesn't have any St. Kilius, which is kind of funny. But when they joined, we all went up to the bridge of the GOLDPACK Dreadnought, and my members were incredibly worried from the previous assassination attempts they've had on me. And I thought, yeah, I told one of my good members in that game, I said, this will probably be it. And we already discussed that when I said that in the middle of a game that he would mute everyone and tell everyone what's going on. And that was to pretty much kill anyone who's in the St. Achilles division if they try to harm me. But they weren't allowed to do it if me or 2 other designated officers opened fire. So it wouldn't be, I didn't want to cause drama, I didn't want to be a huge clusterfuck, just a huge cluster fight on everyone in GOLDPACK. But if they're going to kill me, then yeah, I would want to kill those people trying to kill me. I like my members to do it, but as designated as possible. I didn't want any standbys getting hurt. We're better than that. Anyway, so they joined, and my 2 officers in the game were probably doing just that. Muted everyone, talked to their guys. None of their guys talked. They were ordered not to talk. It was a mediant calm silence. No breaking that. The St. Achilles Vision joined. They all spawned, all walking around, all goofy like because it's half 4 and they're not used to it. They got into the Banshees and they flew over to the Dreadnought, and they're going to go into its airlocks to obviously head to wherever I was. I said, hello, what bring you guys to my lovely game on Halo 4? Welcome to the Dreadnought. They didn't say anything, they actually said nothing, which was kind of awkward. They all went in, all my members were up in the bridge just looking normal. The St. Achilles walked up straight, pretty much beelined their way to the brig. And one of the posses, I think it was Mad Dog or Arbiter of Light, oh man, I'd have to watch the footage again. One of the main Inner Circle posse members for GOLDPACK Mama was in front of their little group. When he got into the brig room, his men kind of stayed in the middle room, back end of the middle room, as that person beelined towards me. A few of my members had shotguns and they're kind of just eyeing him off, but they had the plan. They weren't allowed to break it unless I fired my weapon, and it was game on. He beelined straight towards me, and I was just staring at the front of the Dreadnought, just looking straight out the window thinking, what a lovely ship, what a lovely clan. I feel like my time is coming. The red dot popped up on my radar and beelining straight for my ass. It was kind of creepy, but so typical. In fact, it was so typical. I felt this rage inside of me because even though he's in the St. Achilles division, I expected my members to be, if they're going to do something stupid, I expect them to do it a little better than that. So I had no problems doing the next part, which was easy. Run backwards, jump, and then press whack. The assassination was great. It felt so good to assassinate a moron. And the second that happened, all my members opened up fire. Oh my god, there were bullets everywhere. It was like some sort of space movie where they're firing in the brig. Oh man. They killed them all. I only lost like 1 guy. The other like 5 St. Achilles members all got killed. And it started at spawn. The second that happened, or one of them, I think it was GP Mad Dog, I heard his voice like an absolute psycho person, just like rah, 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 in game chat. God, he's a lunatic. But then he quickly left the game, and then the rest of them all left the game too. So they came, they're going to assassinate me. They failed, they all got killed. And when they went back to the spawn, they all left the game immediately. And I looked at my members in the brig, and this was possibly one of the most dramatic moments. This is the most dramatic moment I've ever experienced on Halo 4. But I looked at the dead body on the ground, and I just thought, you useless sacks of crap. And I looked up at my members, and no one said a word. They were all just guns pointing straight at me, just looking at me. And I looked at them for a second. And right there, at that moment, we all knew exactly what that was, what happened. And we were probably anticipating what was soon to happen next. The real problem was two of the St. Helios members that joined were above the rank of lieutenant. They were above the rank of captain. One of them was a major. Oh man, when a high rank does that, it just so does not look right, especially when they do it in such a gross fashion. I mean, I've been assassinated from them before, early on, a couple months ago, but I mean, it's becoming predictable. And that was the problem, that it was expected to happen. Sure enough, we stayed in that game and we're talking and actually just kind of laughing about it, but with heavy thoughts resting on our minds. Well, not even wrestling in our minds, but then I got a message from GOLDPACK Mama. She demanded a meeting. Demanded it. On Halo Reach, and I said, okay, I'll be there in about 10 minutes. I told all the members I was going. It would be nice to have a couple of them. I ordered one of my officers to come with me because I wanted him next to me. We went to that meeting, but unfortunately, my members couldn't join as there was 15, there was like 14 or 15. There's practically no room for a whole bunch of my members to join. I think only one got in, but I think he even got kicked. But it was on the St. Helios map. None of those St. Helios members made it, which made me cringe a little, but who cares? I mean, it's not like the St. Helios community was that big anyway. The maps might as well get used for something, right? So I was on that map and the big, ginormous elites walked me through. There were elites everywhere, and this map was modded to oblivion. It had these artificial AI elites just standing, and there was like a hallway where there's a whole bunch of them. Normally it wouldn't be intimidating, but it's kind of funny because I had two real St. Helios escorting me, or more like looking at my ass. We went to the meeting room, and this was a big red flag for me. Mama was holed up in what looked like a Supreme St. Helios court order room. It was just a massive St. Helios court, pretty much. Best way I could describe it was not a meeting room. I was being trialed. Mama was behind bulletproof glass, just totally untouchable. You'd have to go into that room separately up in the air to reach her position. Which was a red flag because I wondered why would she need so much security with me. I ain't that good, unless I have a laser, but they didn't give me a laser. Anyway. Yeah, I was just saw Mama and I saw GP Mad Dog and I saw X Volt, or whatever her name was, GOLDPACK Mama's son, and GOLDPACK Reaper. But of like just all Gamma. Oh, poor Gamma, Wookie, Cookie, Kicking Phoenix. Oh man, so many people that turned into her cronies. They're all surrounding her. This was like, yeah, it was Mama's entourage now. And I saw Mama just stuck in the middle of that room, and I just thought, man, they must be whispering in her ear all day. That poor thing. But she didn't sound too happy when she said hello, Marshal, and then we had a small chat. Well, I wouldn't call it a chat. A chat is when, two separate parties are equally discussing and talking and sharing words at equal volume. This was more like a gangbang. Some of them were actually screaming at me. I could barely fit any words in. This vicious cycle continued for like a dozen minutes. And it was main part of it was about how I was being hard on members in the GOLDPACK Wolves program. When I told and warned those members they shouldn't be with me unless they're ready to be drilled hard, because that's how I do my wolves. And no insubordinate actions will be tolerated, so a couple of people got booed from the game. GOLDPACK Wolves is one of the hardest training maps. It's not to mess around on if it's a serious one, and they were warned. They mess around, they got punished, they got kicked. End of story, but it seemed to be a pretty big deal for Mama, because some of them were her members. I mean, GOLDPACK St. Helios members. So it got really, really vicious. No brain cells was being used on their side. The only thing being used was rage and built up hate, and a whole lot of stupidity. They weren't really seeing the light, they weren't seeing the logic, they weren't seeing anything except for what they wanted to see. I think they're completely oblivious to the fact we're about to go full-out war for Exodus. I mean, if I wasn't in the clan, Exodus would shit all over Mama. She has almost very little combat experience as a clan leader. She's just, you know, a mature person who's smarter than your average person, that's for sure. Which made quite a good clan leader, unless you're putting combat strategies into it. Anyway, I'm off topic here. It was ugly, and when I tried to defend myself, I was assassinated by one of her cronies, breathing down my neck the entire time. Until he actually went for my butt, I was assassinated. And when that happened, I was just like, you know, why would you do this? What's going on? Please talk to me. I was just pretty much in an absolute daze with just being totally lost. Her members were, a couple of them were going crazy, just screaming in the mics. Couldn't get a word through to them. And I was kicked from the game. And after that, I just thought, oh my god, Mama, why are you so stupid? What has gotten into you? We need to talk. Because this is going to end badly if this is what she's planning. I still refuse to believe that was actually legitimate and all of Mama's doing. I believe it was just all the people whispering in her ear all day and night. But no, there was a parasitic worm wiggling around her brain, and the entire time this was all happening I didn't see it, but it was there. It was unnatural, it was forced into her brain, and it didn't come from the GOLDPACK members. I was going to discover this parasitic worm down the track, but not then. Well, the only thing happening on my mind was Exodus, war, Exodus and war, just those two thoughts. I wanted to initiate it the next day after that, because there's nothing to bring a clan together than a full-out war, right? But that opportunity was, that little fire, that flame was snuffed out by Mama and her cronies, because after that game, I started getting the last kind of messages I wanted. I got so many messages in a day, but this was big. Heaps of messages. I asked what was going on. Officers by the numbers, man. More than 10 officers were messaging me, telling me that they're suddenly getting killed and assassinated by GOLDPACK members at random in games, whether it was Forge, whether it was training, whether they're in a meeting with another clan or a battle. There's quite a few games. I mean, there's so many lobbies. Heck, one of them wasn't even on Halo 3. We had a unit remain on Halo 3 because they really loved Halo 3, and since you know, Halo 3 didn't have much permanent GOLDPACK members, they wanted to remain on it. This group of people I didn't know too well, except for one of them. So I approved of it, so they're on Halo 3, and even one of their guys were killing them, and I had to kick them from the game, and they messaged me about it, because when that happened for them, he wasn't saying anything, as a lot of them. A couple of the reports said that ones that were wearing St. Kilius uniform said for St. Kilius, or for Arbiter of Light, or for Mama, something stupid like that. Yeah. It, this was annoying. Best words I can use, absolutely best word. The, oh man, what happened after that? I remember that wasn't the end of it. And GOLDPACK didn't burn down, but it was burning. GOLDPACK was on fire. It was utter chaos just everywhere. And I wanted to talk to Mama to actually find out what the heck was going on, but she was refusing to talk to me. She'd only allow me to talk to her cronies, and her cronies were dumb as shit. I mean, Jesus. Idiots couldn't even get a sentence through. Like, oh, God, I could actually punch them in the head. Maybe it would knock in some sense. I mean, you know, I hate when people are just blind with, like, rage and like, they just can't talk properly. Normally I laugh at it, but when it's in my own clan, it's extremely annoying not to be able to properly have a conversation with your members to find out the root of what the heck is going on so you can remove it. or deal with it, whatever it may be. Anyway, so that wasn't happening. Cronies, her entourage was making sure of that. She didn't want to talk to me. I think it was just too much pressure for her. So I decided not to initiate the war with Exodus, otherwise it would have been utter suicide. And I wasted all my time Geek messaging, oh my god, so annoying, and Xbox messaging. And we organized to have a meeting late the next day. I convinced her to do a meeting with me on GOLDPACK rules. They wanted to do it because I ordered my members to take the gold. And when I refer to take the gold as like what we did before 2nd gen, and when there's a mutiny, to identify whether your alliance was with the real supreme leader of GOLDPACK or not, my most loyal members would put on the title gold and they wear primary yellow. No, sorry, not the primary yellow part, not this time. I wanted the uniforms to stay normal, but we all changed our service tag to gold because the ranking structure was broken and not being followed. Mama promoted way too many people. Suddenly, within like the span of 2 days, she promoted so many people to either a lieutenant or a captain. There was a bunch of colonels. I mean, a bunch of colonels. At that point, I haven't even promoted more than 20 people to the rank of colonel. To this very day, legitimately, no more than 20, not even 20 people have made it to the rank of colonel. And she had like 7 of them in her group. I mean, it's like, what the heck? The ranks are not given, they're meant to be earned. And that was where I draw the line. I thought, no, this stops here, or I'm going to burn it all down. So when we're all wearing gold, there was I got like overall 17, 20 people to do it. But when we're going to do that meeting, I only had like 6 people. Hockey was one of them. Jesus was another one. Scumpy. It wasn't Sergeant Plucky. Yeah, it was Galactics. Pretty sure it was Galactics. Oh, man, I forget his name. It was so cruddy. It was Corvess's friend. Corvess was with me, I believe. We're my GOLDPACK wolves and members wearing gold as our service tag. We hold up in the GOLDPACK wolves layer, our division base. We're in a very defensive position. Not for ambushing, but defensive, so the enemy could not get to me at the back where the GOLDPACK Wolves lair meeting room was, which was pretty much a rock and a flat ground. One podium and flat ground. We worked as a pack, so that's how it was organized. And it took so many hours of messaging GOLDPACK Mama and her cronies before they all joined, and it took them like 40 minutes just to get into the goddamn meeting room. They were over the top with being cautious and making sure everything was checked and safe and secure before they walked it in. And when they walked it in, all the big ass elites were surrounding a little Spartan body as like a human shield made up of elites. It was really weird. Kind of funny because they couldn't really get it down right, but I mean, and I was equipped with a Spartan laser. I mean, but I didn't want to blast them all away. I wanted to talk, and that was the sole purpose. And we were going to talk because if we could not suss this out and come down with some sort of result to end this rebellion, this uprising, this whatever it was, if we could not come to them and have a resolution, it was going to be the end of GOLDPACK. And I was crossing my fingers, man. I was crossing my fingers real hard that GOLDPACK was so big and powerful, and Mama was embedded like a tick, and that's how it was designed. She wasn't meant to start trouble like this. She was supposed to be a team, but that didn't work out, so now the whole clan was being at utter chaos. And I was willing to... I never backed down from my decisions. And I was willing to give her the right for many things that I'd never even think about giving the rights to other people. but the one thing I had problems swallowing was the ranks, and if we could work out something with that, I'll be able to say yes and submit to that. I'll submit to decisions I disapprove of, just so GOLDPACK will survive. And this was pretty much a first for me. You want to find out what happens next? Then I'll see you for Marshal's Law, Part 17. And as always, I'll see you on the flip side, guys.